Yeah, I don't know if we can help her. I really hope we can, because I can only imagine how sad and heartbreaking this has got to be. Got an email here. Somebody's asking for any kind of help, and they don't know where else to go. They said, my husband and I are heartbroken. We do not know what to do. My daughter and I used to be incredibly close, best friends even. Then she got married, had her only grandchild, who is now 8 months old. And then after the baby's birth, she developed severe postpartum anxiety. We tried to be understanding and supportive, but she never once has come to our home while regularly visiting her husband's family. To see our grandbaby, we always have to drive at least 45 minutes, which has been very painful and confusing. There have also been other red flags. She recently married her husband 5 months after meeting him without telling her father. I was the only one who knew and kept it to protect him. Her husband quit his job after the baby was born and still hasn't returned to work, spending his days gaming, which concerns us. Christmas at their home felt tense and unwelcoming due to strict rules like banning alcohol, despite no one having a drinking problem. Our family still showed up, even though many felt uncomfortable. Things came to a breaking point when my husband asked to stop by briefly to see the baby and was told no because his mother-in-law might be there. Hurt and frustrated, he sent a text he regrets. Shortly after, we received a message saying we are no longer welcome in their home and can only see our grandchild at a park. We were accused of disrespecting boundaries and causing stress. I know my daughter didn't write the message, though she approved it. I'm devastated. I feel shut out, mistrusted, and believe my daughter is being controlled by her husband. I don't recognize her anymore, and I deeply miss the relationship we had, my place in her life, and my grandbaby. Any advice or perspective would mean everything to me.
Yeah, this happens so often. A young girl marries a narcissist, and then his goal is to separate and alienate, and he can control her better if she's got nobody in her ear raising up her self-worth. He wants to make sure that he is the only voice in her ear. And by your husband sending that text, you further pushed him towards her and yourselves away from her. You're proving the narcissist's point that you guys don't respect boundaries and you're disrespectful to their marriage and you have bad things to say about him. And you're in a very tough spot and you don't get to voice your opinion about how much you hate him.
Yeah, that's really tough. And you are right in the sense where you have to do everything right because you are under a microscope and any ammunition you give to him is going to be used against you, and it already has. I don't know if you've apologized for that text message, but going above and beyond to be nice in this situation is probably one thing. Any friction you throw into it is probably only going to distance you further.
Is it possible that parents are not nice people and that's one of the reasons why they don't want to spend time with them? Anything's possible. When you only get one side of a story, it's kind of hard to get all the information.
I think I know what's going on here. My sister married a guy just like this many, many years ago when she was young and pregnant, and he was a narcissist. He was unemployed for 11 years because he was holding out for a management position.
Yep.
This happens, and they try, I saw it in our family. They try to alienate the person. They try to distance them from any family that could talk reason to them. And anything you say bad about him is going to be used against you. It's only going to hurt you.
Yep, absolutely. And even the thing like the comment about the alcohol at the house, those are the kind of things where you just have to accept it. Whatever their terms are, go with it and just be thankful that you got an in, and you got to make the most of the experience to try to make it good. And you got to hopefully win over her trust to know that she's got a safe space in you where you're not going to be judged. She's not going to meet any kind of friction. And then if he continues to give her friction and be all over her, then maybe one day she'll come running back to your arms and be like, can you help me in this situation?
She will. Look, as she matures and she begins to see what's happened to her life and how much control she's given of her own thoughts and feelings and movements, once she hits that point when she just goes, oh my gosh, she will hopefully be able to be strong enough to get away from him. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to happen by you telling her about all of his flaws. It's just not how it's going to happen right now.
This stuff is really tough. This can happen to your girlfriends, to your siblings, can happen to your own children, as we're seeing right here. And
I've got friends that are still in it that have tried for 10 years to get out of it because they're with a narcissist. It is powerless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we even talked about that. The toughest person to divorce. We had this discussion a couple weeks ago on the show, and it came back pretty much unanimous that it was a narcissist.
They're manipulative and they're just one step ahead. And if you're a sweet, innocent person, and if you have sweet, innocent parents, you don't understand what a narcissist is capable of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you just have to do everything right. Wait for something to be wrong on the husband's part. Hopefully she'll come back to you. You can open the door again and maybe help her through this.
And then it's got to be her decision. You can't try to tell her what to do because he's going to use it against you.
Carolyn is on here from Boca Raton, and you say this had happened with your brother, Carolyn?
So it was pretty similar, but I mean, there was no children involved. But my brother got with a girl, and long story short, they were together for about 10 years, and I lost my brother, really is what happened. He was one of my best friends, and she slowly started to isolate him from all of us. And we couldn't talk to him alone. We couldn't go anywhere alone. I have another brother, and the three of us, were talking one time on like a conference call, and I said, we need to just plan like a siblings trip. And he's like, well, I can't go without her. And he was completely controlled by her. We would call him, and if they were in the same room, he would have the phone on speakerphone so that she could hear everything. We couldn't do anything with him alone. One time we went to visit them. They lived in Wisconsin at the time. My mom, my kids, and I went to go visit them, and we left after 2 days because we felt so unwelcome. It was so uncomfortable, and I lost my little brother. We tried really hard to include her in our family. We tried to, give her gifts on her birthday and Christmas. We tried to be nice. We did everything we knew how to do, and we just lost that relationship. And I hate to say it, but either this woman needs to wake up and see what's happening, or this is how it's going to be. The only way I got my brother back was when she died 2 years ago.
See? You can't fight the narcissist. You just can't. You're going to lose.
And he fully came back like he had never been with her and everything was exactly how it had been before?
Pretty much. It's a long story what happened. She had cancer. She had a reaction to a medication and the radiation, and it ended up causing a hemorrhage, and it killed her, but which was terrible. It was horrible. She's 32 years old. But the point is, all of a sudden I became mama bird with my brother again. He's my baby brother. And so I started trying to take care of him. And now we have a great relationship. We talk almost every day. And as a matter of fact, this past Christmas, he now lives in Virginia. He drove all day one day from Virginia for Christmas and surprised me to show up to spend Christmas with us.
Wow.
So we are back to where we were.
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time. And my little brother, he's my person. So for over 10 years, I was just missing him. But I'm so happy I have him back. But it took her dying.
Took death.
Which is terrible.
Terrible.
It is terrible in many ways. And it's not probably real encouraging to this other lady that emailed us to say, okay, so that's possibly what it's going to take.
It's a terrible thing to have to tell this grandmother that she's going to miss out on the first few years of her only grandchild's life. Or longer.
Yeah.
But this will play out, and you will eventually get your family back because it's not sustainable.
The daughter has to wake up.
The daughter has to wake up, or he has to die.
Yeah.
And one of those things hopefully happens.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, in a sense, I think the lesson sometimes is you just have to remove the one person out of it because the narcissist likely is not going to change.
Nope.
As long as they're in the picture, you're now going to have to deal with the rules of engagement on how to deal with a narcissist that is controlling your loved one. And that's the tough thing. And Carolyn, according to what you're saying, there's no playbook for that.
Let me tell you something. She even had my brother so, quote unquote, brainwashed that he became a vegetarian and he thought it was his idea. After she died, he went and had some ribs. He's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
That's how much she controlled him. And I don't know. They were technically breaking up, but they were still living together. So he was trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
So if she hadn't passed away, maybe once he was on his own, this might have happened over time. But it's a terrible thing when someone is controlled by someone else to the point that they think that they believe, a different philosophy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And some people are just so great at manipulation.
Yes.
And when you're in it, you just are like, this is the world that I'm in. I've made my own prison, and I'm just going to have to live in this. And this is what it is for my own peace and happiness.
And narcissism does not know gender. It can happen with a female or a male that tries to control everything just as easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, female or male.
Well, I'm glad you got a win on that, Carolyn, and we wish a positive outcome to the other lady who emailed as well. So glad you got your brother back.
Enjoy those ribs.
That's it, baby. That's right.